charm bangle until we get in there. And see if we can learn White Wind. And I have a strong feeling that we are not going to be able to learn Mighty Guard. See, there's a boss that uses Mighty Guard if you confuse it, but the boss is probably immune to the confusion status effect. Most bosses in this game are. Which means they, according to this fact at least, the hazy enemy is the only chance we've really got, and it's just really has low hit points, so I don't see it surviving one of the ultimate dress sphere attacks that does damage and inflicts status ailment. So I feel like we'll probably have to wait until we get the Dark Knight dress sphere to learn that, which basically turns you into just a haste bank, whatever. Basically turns you into Batman. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to encounter Queen Coeral.
Let's do it.
At this point I don't even care. I just want to win this battle as quickly as possible. Not even going to bother to switch to some other dress sphere.
It's a wrap.
Not going to bother to try to use this to power up Yuna's crazy floral dress sphere, because the thing that we needed it for, getting the ability to inflict confuse, has happened now. I'm going to save just in case something goes wrong. And I lose a bunch of progress in this video of actually learning a few skills for one of those dress spheres. And it wasn't the plan, but now I'm thinking I might have to do some off-screening.
Bring it, punk.
Alright, here we go.
Believe in the sword.
Oh, these guys who use Blaster. I should have thought about that. But Yuna's still alive. That's good. Somebody please heal Yuna up. Thank you. And hopefully Yuna will be able to confuse this thing in time. Please inflict confusion quickly. And if it takes Yuna out, then we're just going to be in a bad place. Fuck! That damn blaster attack. Oh, but it confused. It is confused, though. It is confused, so if we're really lucky, it'll cast White Wind, although I don't know if we'll have time to get Yuna back. Uses Blaster. That's not what we wanted. But, you know, it is confused. That's what we're kind of hoping for here. And if it uses White Wind, we all learn it at once. It used White Wind on itself and cured its confusion. Oh. And Yuna has to start her fucking sphere change deal over again. Okay. So hopefully, come on. Hopefully this doesn't finish it off. I need to use Panic Paralysis to confuse it, but it killed it. Damn it. Well, we've established that this can work. We had the thing confused, and it used White Wind on itself, which took it out of confusion. But at least it's possible, and that is, along with Mighty Guard and possibly Bad Breath against regular enemies that aren't immune to all status effects. Those are that White Wind is the best blue magic anyway, because it gives you free healing for your whole party and removes all status effects. It's pretty good. So as big a pain in the butt as this is, it's worth it. I guess the big issue really is, should I switch Yuna to a Dress Sphere where she doesn't have to switch to 3 different things? Because we've established that I'm not getting triple AP. It's a pain in the butt to keep her alive. Let's see who they cast Blaster on and heal them. Hopefully, Yuna's central body part doesn't get blasted. Okay, the healing part got taken out, but it doesn't matter if she can get this off. Just get off the Panic Paralysis thing. Hurry up. Okay, she can turn back into a blue mage now. Keep Yuna alive. Just hope that casted water, that's fine. Just cast that frickin' thing on us, would you? Cast White Wind on us. Don't cast Blaster on yourself or us. Or Yuna. Come on, you son of a bitch. I'm gonna heal it up so that if I have to go reconfuse it, we've got the option. Even confused, this thing is being a pain in the ass and not cooperating with us. And this video is going to go to like double length if it doesn't hurry up and do... Oh no, it wore off. Confusion wore off, didn't it? Did it? I can't tell. It no longer has a little thing floating over its head.
I will clear a path.
Oh, I didn't need to switch again.
Just for you.
I could go straight into the special dress sphere, apparently. Okay. Oh, bullshit. The rest of its bits and bobs are all dead. Fine. And she can't use items, so if one piece dies, it all dies. Or, well, I mean, it can't be brought back, is what I'm saying. Unless it's the right pistol that dies. So the central piece of Yuna's ultimate dress sphere is the only thing that learned anything out of all that. We wasted a bunch of high potions. And this video refuses to end because we've now established we can learn it. We just gotta get the fucking thing to cast, yeah. Well, there's 2 of them now. I don't know if that makes this better or worse. I want to get rid of that Lesser Drake before getting any further. Okay. So I'm not that worried about them killing us now because they can't. They can inflict Blaster, which takes you down to 1 hit point left. And then they can use spells, which we're pretty much immune to. The problem is that Yuna doesn't have the effects of that accessory, which made us immune to magical damage. So she needs to get in here and get off that before they cast regular old magic. Okay, that died, but it's okay. And it used that shit on itself. And then I oh, it's fucking bullshit. Well, I need to transform her back to a gun mage now so that that's where she ends up. When she switches back. Because I need her to switch back. And I needed to use fucking White Wind on us. Now please use the White Wind thing on us, you asshole. Need to heal Yuna up in case that affects... Oh, fuck me. How long is this video gone? This is like 1.5 length video. Okay, well now I'm gonna have to split. I'm just gonna do another 15 minutes and then split it. This is ridiculous. I guess I was always gonna have to come up with some kind of title card for splitting after the fact, unless I already had one. I'm just wasting a ton of high potions with this nonsense. Alright, same enemy set.
I will clear a path.
Okay, scan level 2 has been learned. Need Yuna to not get hit with the blaster. That's fine.
I've got this one covered.
Don't die, Yuna. As soon as she gets Panic Paralysis off, I'm switching. Okay, perfect. Now we need one of them to frickin' cast that thing on us and not each other. I can consider using high potions on them. And I just did. You guys please just frickin' use white high road wind, whatever the fuck it's called, on us. I know you can do it. I've seen you use it on yourselves. Why doesn't confusion last forever? When, you know, inflicted on you. I don't want it to last forever on me. You son of a bitch. Oh, and then just like rub my nose in it, they do it again.
I've got you in my sights.
Okay, now as soon as Yuna is cured, I'll switch her to this crazy ass thing. Hopefully they will survive being hit with this. Come on. So they're confused again, but not enough to stop hitting me with blaster. Please use white, high roads, wind, whatever it's called. Thinking long term, I better start healing them, since there's every chance that I'll have to go through this process again. But, I mean, we're at this point. I just have to get them here and then hope. This just comes down to blind luck. I can read up on, I guess, a fact. I mean, I checked a fact. It said that you have to confuse them to get them to do this. Maybe it's going to say you have to, that this particular enemy type won't do it. But no, it didn't say that. They're on the list of enemies that will use this attack. That's why I'm fighting. And now they're not. Now they're not confused anymore. One good news is that the haste bangle turns out to have been a pretty good accessory to use for Yuna here, because she's spending a lot of time in critical status. Which means that she's getting
Time to let the magic fly.
hasted a lot. And we try it again, and see if it does anything this time. And they die. And I learned double HP, but they died. Double HP does me no good in this particular fight, because when they defeat any section of the floral crazy monster Yuna, it's always a result of hitting blaster followed by some weak spell. It's never a result of actually wearing down hit points in any way that's affected by the number of hit points that you've got. Being said, go ahead and get her on a garment grid that will let me switch a little faster. Not that that's really being a big deal. I should frickin' know, too, that I should have gone back and bought the thing that prevents death attacks. Because that would be pretty good here. Ah, well. Sadly, she's not going to be affected by haste anymore, as far as I know. I rather doubt she's affected by haste anyway. So I'm just waiting for them. Panic paralysis, okay. One of them is dead. Yeah, I just told you to transform back. What are you doing? And it's oversouling. Is that going to make it even more, like, not cooperative? Oh, it's not confused anymore. Apparently oversouling it made it not be confused. Being despite its appearance attacks only with magic from the 4 primary elements. As its HP gets lower, its magic power increases. What gives? Oh, it's immune to confused now. Well, better to start sucking magic out of it. It's immune to confused, so we can't do anything with it. We learn anti-aircraft. Nice thing about Absorb is that it pays for itself as far as sucking up more magic than it costs.
And you thought they were land.
It's out of MP though. Oh, it's just keep shooting it. It doesn't seem like it does. Oddly enough, it doesn't seem to do blaster anymore. Might be worth stealing from.
See ya.
Oh, I didn't get a chance. Now I gotta check and see, am I already at an hour for this recording that I know I'm gonna have to split after the fact, and if so, am I giving up on, I think I can take one more crack at it. Well, you know, I killed a Queen Coeral Oversoul, which was something I was always gonna have to do. I don't know if you have to defeat Oversoul, all the creatures Oversoul, or just Oversoul them. I think you gotta Oversoul and defeat each one. So anytime I defeat an Oversouled monster, I check it up as being some kind of progress. Eventually there comes a point where you just sit there with a chart of monsters and figure out which ones you haven't oversold, and you just have to figure that shit out. Oh, frickin' salads. I think she must have had the death, yeah, somebody had actual death, Oh, I'm gonna need to switch her back, though. And I think it's aiming at you, and I'm preparing to do... Oh, thunder. No, never mind. Who cares? I think we're good, as far as this thing not really being able to kill us, because with only one of them, it's not going to get off attacks quickly enough. As long as the right pistol is able to heal us after it hits blaster once. God damn it, it killed it! I said I was going to take one more try, but that was just so freaking fast. Now my encounter rate's gone through the roof. This is probably my best chance, although honestly, if they use white road, high road, whatever wind, the spell I'm actually trying to learn here, at the wrong moment, they cure each other's confusion, so it's not... I'll switch back to Gun Mage Dress Sphere before transforming.
Time to let the magic fly.
Just because that's good for, it's good because it means once you switch away from Floral Full, you have your best shot at actually quickly being in position to learn the spell. The worst thing that you can have is, well, not the worst thing, but it would be annoying if everybody except Yuna learned it. Although I'd probably just accept that as being good enough. Okay, so they both survived. They're using Blaster, but I told her to switch back. It doesn't do me any good if one of them quickly uses it before we switch back. One of you assholes use this shit. Healing you up with the idea that I'm prepping for having to run through all this again, but I don't want to. If we can get you guys to do what I need you to do now, great. I hate you guys so much. I really do hate you guys. And you're no longer confused. And it does that whiskers floating up in the air shit, then I know it's going for its I know it's going for Blaster. Come on, do it. Do the confused thing. And wipe them both out. Because they chipped away at their own hit points after I high potioned them. And forget it. That's it. We failed. I get 2 videos and I'm giving up. At some point later, we will attempt to learn these spells because they are just not happening right now. And I believe that's going to have to be it for my little session, at least before I can... Yeah, I got to take a little break and do some off-screening and just get lots of money and research this. So that was 2 videos wasted. I mean, it's tempting to just actually flush them and not even make them public, but I did a lot of off-screening, and you're seeing the kind of... This is the kind of nonsense you're doing off-screen to try to learn all the blue magics and level up all the skills, and you guys got a little taste of it, I guess. I'll have to label these videos something like, do not watch part 1 of 2, do not watch part 2 of 2, something like that. So only the true JG faithful will tune in. And anyone who tunes in and complains that this video is stupid, nothing happened, it'd be like, I've definitely put in the descriptions of videos before, like, especially with the RTK type series, or Nobunaga's Ambition, where it'll be like, there's no gameplay, I'm going to explain how player creation works and give you a chance to create characters. I'm not actually getting to gameplay at all in this video, and people will still tune in and be like, you're talking too much, hurry up and get to the gameplay. And then I remember responding to one like that and saying, like, you know, it's in the fucking description. I said that there's no gameplay in this video, and the guy actually responded and said, nobody reads those things. So I had to write back again and point out that I actually said 30 seconds into the video that there wouldn't be gameplay. You fucking blah blah blah. So yeah, I might have to give these videos titles along the lines, because nobody reads the descriptions, as evidenced by the fact that I had a Metal Gear Solid 5 video, which somehow it got made public at the wrong time, and I made it private again, and then when I meant to make it public again, no notifications were pushed out. So in a video series, I'm not the most popular LPer in the world, but I'm usually getting 50 views a video. At least, and this was getting like 2 views after a couple of days. So in the next video in the series, I put in the description, hey, you probably missed the previous video, and now that video is up to like 50 views, and the video before it, where I mentioned, hey, I mentioned in the description of, let's call it video 51, hey, video 50, you might not have noticed, but it's in the playlist. Video 50 went from having 2 views to like 5 views, so it looks like 3 of the 50 people who watched video 51 actually read the description and realized that they missed video 50. Whatever. Point is, I have no point. I spent an hour trying to learn fucking White Wind, and it's not working. And I might go off screen and try the same thing, in which case you'll miss my big moment of triumph. But I think I'll just gonna go play. I think I'll read and see if I can find anything in a forum where it talks about whether this actually works. Yeah, like the additional tips by the guy who wrote this fact is get this as soon as you get the dress sphere. It's great. Nothing on how to fucking make it happen. But there's more than enemies than just the Queen Coerls who can use it. So I'm wondering if maybe it's just that this particular enemy doesn't use it on you when it's confused, and the guy didn't even realize. He just listed all enemies in the game that he'd ever seen use the spell. But the Coerls and the Bully Caps, which I think are even weaker, I can't imagine them surviving Yuna's confusion attack, are the only ones that I can face this early. So I might just have to come back in Act 3, Chapter 3, and fight something else. Or use a confusion inflicting ability that doesn't do damage or whatever. The point is there's no point, and I'm sorry. And when we come back, I think I'm just going to go back to the fucking plot and forget about trying to learn blue magic, because come Act 5, there is an optional dungeon where you can encounter almost any enemy from the game, and it just seems like that's the natural place to pick all that stuff up. Except for the ones that you can only learn from one-shot bosses, which are really annoying. Anyway, see you guys later.